Namaste to you. This is Lucas coming to you from Draper, Utah. We just got out of the new moon back on Thursday, Sunday today, and usually I do some type of a ceremony of some sort, but um, I chose just to kind of keep my intentions in the forefront of my mind rather than writing and burning this time, because I do believe it's like I got those yogi teas that you can get. I was at a friend's house yesterday and she gave me a tea and they got little messages on the tag, and mine read, the only thing that is constant is change. And I was like, duh, no brainer, right? Everything's always changing all the time. And that's kind of the way I look at my rituals that I do when upcoming phases of the moon come through. I like to do a little something special, but don't necessarily need to. It's not like the end of the world if I don't type deal, So, oh, there's the plane. So yeah, I felt like there was a power that was taking my thoughts. My thoughts and ideas were actually being utilized, because not only that, shortly after the end of the new moon, one of my intentions kind of appeared a couple days later. And a very good a friend that I had met briefly at this particular place playing music, got to play with this person for maybe 20 minutes, and then the party was over, or whatever is at the end of the day. And lo and behold, she had to go back to Florida, so I never got to jam with her again, but we had really good chemistry. And so I went up to a show Friday night to support some friends of mine who play. And she shows up. Hadn't talked to her in like 6 months, and just out of the blue shows up. She's supposed to be in Florida. Now she's here. It's amazing. And one of my intentions has been to start a band up again, an original, start from scratch, get some players with some new ideas. And she is by far one of the best guitar players in Salt Lake City. So I am very blessed, and I do thank my gods for bringing her back into this area, into the Salt Lake City music scene again, to be able to flourish as she should. Very grateful for just the whole process of letting go, allowing things to happen. And if you feel like you can create a momentum or an energy that can help oneself push forward, then do it without question. And that's the biggest problem I feel for me and a lot of people that I do know, is the humanality of ourselves, where we question everything because we were taught that. We were programmed to question everything. Yeah, it's definitely something you have to do in order to be with the right people. But when you know damn well you're with the right people, you never should question that, because the universe will send you things and situations to come into your life where you question what you're doing at that point. And we do have to a certain degree, but when things are really good, you don't want to let your thoughts create something really bad. Our thoughts, our words are very powerful. And I think that's why I've gotten so quiet, because I have recognized that, and I don't really want to put mixed emotional stuff out to the universe to have to deal with it in a life form, if that makes any sense. So it's been a hell of a weekend, good weekend. The work week was something else. My ankle's healing up from the incident at work about a week and a half ago. It's healing up pretty nicely, so dealing with the pain from that when it first happened really caused me to just be exhausted after work, because you're working, doing your job, plus you're dealing with the pain. It takes a lot out of a person. So, but no, this weekend's been good. Got to hang out with a lot of friends, a lot of people that appreciate when I'm around, versus before I was hanging out with a lot of people that didn't appreciate who I am. And you know, the scene out here is very loving. There's a lot of love with the people I hang out with out here, and I'm very blessed to still be a part of it, you know. And it was all brought through music, one of the most powerful tools you can use to rule the universe, by far. It's just about doing it, you know. Just gotta do it. Suit up and show up. People will be there for you. Always will. So, Friday night went to see my friends' bands play, and then went to an after party. And the after party ended like at 4 a.m. somewhere around there. And so instead of driving, because I had been awake for roughly 23 hours, because I had to work that day, then go to the show, and so on and so forth. Instead of driving, because I was pretty tired, I just hopped in the backseat of my car, went to sleep, then woke up a couple hours later. Huge headache, huge neck ache from head banging. I know I'm getting older and can't do half the shit I used to be able to, and be like okay with it, you know. But felt really hungover, and of course I don't drink anymore, so no drinking. I think it was just lack of sleep gave me a headache, and the heat, of course. The heat's pretty good, especially when you live in a car with not very much cover to it, or an AC that works properly. So it's been somewhat of a challenge, but doable. And I ended up just going back to work and sleeping, and was supposed to go help a friend unload a shed of his and arrange it, but I was just I needed more sleep. So I slept for about 2 hours in the heat, and finally I woke up in a drench, you know, just soaking wet with sweat, going, I need to go somewhere, get out of, you know, cool my core a bit. So I hit up one of my friends and asked if I could come by and enjoy her AC. And she said, sure, come over and made me some tea. And that's where I read that message about the only thing constant in life is change. And I'm like, tell me something I don't know, right? And I realize how much I've been able to adapt to. I'm quick to adapt to a lot of changes, and I don't know if I've done that on purpose, like put myself in situations where I had to be able to up and go and change perspective, and because this year has been full of a lot of that change. I mean, I lived in 3 different places, and that was all within an 8-month period, so that's a lot of moving around. But of course, I do live from my car, so I pack lightly. My buddy Adrian allows me to store some of my things here in his garage. Love this guy to death, and he just lost his mom. And so last night was his first night out after going to the funeral or whatever they had for it. And, me and our mutual friend who just moved back from Florida, who we hadn't seen for like a year, we were both at the place for the show, and he was just so grateful that we were there because he had been in a spot in his head for a while. It had been a couple weeks since anybody had seen him, and tonight, last night was his night to get out and kind of like recharge, because he, as well as a drummer, and music is what makes us motivate. And so we were there as a family. I gave his buddy a ride home, and he allowed me to stay at his house, which, he's allowed me to rent a room, but my money's still not where it needs to be, and plus I'm on probation, so I have to stay where I'm at till I get off probation. Then I can choose where I want to live, and if this is still open, I might take it. It's a nice area. You can see the mountains. Pretty decent spot. Very relaxing. You got the birds, and it's nice. It'd be a nice change up for me to do something like that. Be someplace like this. Really cool people. Nicest people I've met in a long time. I met some really cool people in the past that had turned into backstabbers, but I finally found a good group of people that actually genuinely care. So it's very rare nowadays, so I'm very, very grateful. I'm just so stoked about, very optimistic about the future, because change is a constant, right? So one minute I'm chilling with an old friend from Florida, and the next minute I'm chilling with another friend from Florida, a new friend per se, because I don't really know this person that well, but I am taking time to put together a band with this person and try to get our creative and craziness out there for people to enjoy as well, to share that energy too. I think music motivates hope a lot of the time, depending on what you're playing. Music can motivate all kinds of emotions, of course. That wow, that pizzazz, like, let's bring back that wow. This is really good music. So, and the way the connection we have when we did play was pretty intense, and it was very real, and people could feel it. And I like that when I can come together in a music situation and have people see that energy, to let people know that there is way more to this life than what our eyes see. And and we all know it's about that feeling that we can give somebody. And I usually look towards the wow, the pizzazz, this is awesome, this is something I needed. When people come away from a show and they got that feeling of, this is exactly what I needed, that's the best, I think. So now we are working on a place to jam at, and I think we might have that set up already, which is really good. and start collaborating our creative energies together and make something really good and really original. That's what I'm stoked about, is this new project, because you really don't come in with the expectations except to create whatever it is that needs to be shown to yourself and others on a music level. There's a lot of magic. We are magicians when we play, and all instruments aside, but drumming for me has been the place where I feel like powerful. That's where my power lies, and the strength of feeling the energetic transference through the sticks and the cymbals out to the audience and the people, and that process is really, really amazing. And now I get back to it. It's been months. I think it'll create more balance for me in my life, rather than just dealing with the being on paper. I mean, I do have drug classes that are going to be coming up, so that brings even more balance to my life in my mind, because it won't just be work and play music, because I've done that before and I've gotten lost in the other areas of my life were just becoming very stagnant, I guess you could say. So I didn't have that balance I was wanting to have, and being ADHD like I am, that mellows me out when I have a lot to do. Like, say this day I have to work a couple days and I got to take off early, go to my drug class, and then work a couple days, and then meet up to play music, and that brings forth balance for me. I got a few different things, so it seems, I don't know, maybe it doesn't balance me out, I don't know, but I think it'll be good once everything's in motion, and I will start to be in that frame of just a better place in my mind. Because living in a car, and when I'm used to living with people, or coexisting with somebody else, it's been a huge change to go through that in the last 6 months. It's been less than that. It's only been like 3 months, so I'm still like at this phase, of what do I do next, besides what I'm doing is all I can do, but I always want to do more. I want to be more about helping people and not being such a hermit and keep it to myself like I have been. But I think I've really done it in order to get to know myself a lot more better. Definitely not as distracted as I was a few months back when I was trying to hone into my own energy, but there was too many things going on where I couldn't focus. And that's the downside of ADHD. I mean, I guess if you're doing things you love or like in life, it's easier to focus and tune in, most definitely. But even, I don't know, just been finding myself more and more okay, whereas before I was kind of indifferent, to how my life situation has become, and the things I have to do, people I have to be around, and just to make things work, get through things. It's not really a survival mode anymore. It's it's kind of, I don't know, it's a lot different than it was a few months ago, as far as even at my job I was really insecure, didn't know what I was doing, And now I'm more in tune because, I've practiced. We've had situations come up where we can tell where we need work, more focus. And that's the other thing, there's always going to be times when you lose focus on something, or something steers your attention away. I think a lot of times that's, for me, my angels, they let me know, and I'm pretty, it's almost like when somebody's flirting with me and I don't really pay attention. That's kind of how my spirits are with me too. I like notice, but I don't notice. I don't know how to explain it. I just kind of put up I don't know if it's a boundary or just a wall for a minute. It's like one of those temporary walls you put up just so you can allow things to sink in, of what's going on. Because things do change very quick. I've been able to tune in more to noticing when things are going to change, and that's been super helpful as far as helping me make the right decisions, I guess you can say. Because if I know something's coming up, I know how to prepare for it, and that's really huge as far as being able to roll with the change. People say go with the flow, and that's the whole same process as well. Going with the flow, seeing the current's going to change them. How do I want to maneuver through it? Do I want to have a struggling season, or do I want to have a flowy season? And there's nothing wrong with having a struggling season, putting yourself through a bit of a struggle just to test yourself to see if the things you are doing or using are working for you, like I did a couple weeks ago. And I did the negative mantra, and then I brought it back with live music, good people, and an understanding that this is all temporary, But having these complex brains that we do carry on top of our shoulders really just not, that's, I think, the main challenge for us as spiritual beings, is overriding the humanality of it and the parts of our brain that have been programmed in. It is the challenge, is our brains. Always has been, always will be. And I'm okay with that. So it does make sense to watch what you put in your body nowadays. Bringing this up, meaning if you're trying to prepare for a change, or a change is going to happen, or you foresee that something is going to happen, and you choose to just wing it or not prepare for it, that can create a struggle and can create indifference. I mean, life in general is indifferent, but our brains create the chaos. Our brains will always create that chaos. This is what moves all the bullshit that we're going through now, is all these people with these brains and these great ideas and these programmed ways of thought and living, just to rule over the masses. It's so weird to me, and I don't get it, but this is where it's at, and this is where it's been for a long time. So being able to foresee that shit's gonna go down, and how are you gonna show up in the shit, and where's it gonna end up at for you? And if you can foresee all that and choose not to prepare for that, then you are in fact creating a struggle for yourself. And that's okay. Everybody needs to struggle to appreciate when when you don't have to, you know. It's just how we are, and that's the other part of our brain. Our brains forget shit. We put shit in our body that doesn't help our brain work correctly, and, you know, it's just, it all boils down to choice every single freaking day. Once you get to that point where you know things are happening and you know what you need to do, the ball will always be in your court, no matter what. And being able to separate myself from the things and people that haven't had my back per se, and only connecting with those that do, has been very rewarding and it feels like it's a huge self-care thing for me, and I'm very grateful that even through my life situations that I've gone through where I thought I couldn't get through it and I couldn't get through the emotion behind these things, and I just stood steadfast with what I was doing no matter what. I suit up and show up, and I might not be the most curious person in the room. Sometimes I can be, but I am the most real person in the fucking room. I've been realizing that big time. I don't know, I wasted a lot of time throughout my years here being fake, being phony, but always coming with the real sense of intention, you know. But sometimes you know, it's a pre-programmed thing. You gotta kind of mix in with people and do certain things. But I haven't been able to go that way, you know. I'm pretty real with my PO. I'm real with my bosses at work, with people I genuinely hang out with. I don't tell stories. I don't lie. I don't try to be something I'm not, and it's been very freeing for me, and it's allowed me to open up more to different ideas and different things, because I have nothing to hide. And, you know, I tell you straight up, if I don't like something, I don't like something, you know. I think it was a conversation about country music, because listening to country music's okay, but playing it as a type of drummer that I am, it's just not. I'm a lead drummer. I'm not a rhythm drummer. I'm a lead drummer. And so therefore, in order to be in a sufficient type of band, I have to be in connection with the band members on that level of, we are badasses and we are going to create something super awesome that people are going to love, that we're going to love. And that's the main purpose of this whole music thing for us. And it's going to be different. And, you know, just, I want to bring that back up because it's something that I've been putting out to the universe about for a long time and not questioning it. You know, there's a lot of other things I put out during new moon intention ceremonies and stuff like that. Things that, you know, are realistic goals, basically. But I know when I do the ceremonies, I put in the work and I keep like the idea fresh in my head, things do happen because I'm making it happen. We all have that power. A lot of us already know we have that power. It's just the pre-programming can override. It's like a default programming that we have, based upon how we were brought up, you know, and the things we listened to and heard as an infant, as, you know, an embryo even. I mean, because we're all spirits before we're humans. So we're already, but when we go into that, we come out of the 5D into the 3D, It's almost like they hit a reset, you know, and now our brains, rather than our spirits and souls, are starting to take over our body, and then we have to focus on that aspect of our brain, on teaching it how to do things like move, stand up, sit up, whatever, you know, and our motor skills. And so I think we start to lose some of the spirit sometimes because we're, you know, you have to focus for years and years on how to, you know, growing up, how to be, and who you're around is really going to affect how you're going to be later on. That's been the fun part of life for a lot of people. But luckily, I came up in a really good family, and all the choices, all the things that happened to me were led by choices, my own choices. So that's why I say it always boils down to, at the end of the day, everything's a choice. We choose how we want to feel about things. We have to really look past all the distractions, aka bullshit, that gets thrown at us on a daily basis, and see what's real and focus on the realness of life. And that allows us, well, it allows me to move forth in things that, you know, down the road really aren't going to matter, but I have to do them now in order to maintain a sovereignness about myself, to maintain the gratitude, which helps move forth ideas and goals. So recognizing these as tools to help move forward and help extend, I don't know how to word this, extend. What's up, birdie? Check out the birds. You barely say. Anyways, yeah, see, ADHD, I get distracted really easy. But it's been a wild ride. It's been a fun ride, and I'm looking forward to the journey again in a new perspective, a new attitude, a new outlook. I'm gonna have to, in order to create this really awesome band, that I now have at least one player who's down, and all it's gonna take is our connection to put it out to some other people that might want to partake and be a full band rather than a two-piece. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be cool. It's time for the zombie to come back to life, because, you know, I had to put away the zombie. Died for a bit, but that energy, that spirit is coming back to help heal and mend myself along with others that partake and listen to what we'll create. And that in its sense, you know, the example of going through the shit, but being able to, you know, having a little heartbreak here and there with friends, family, and situations, but being able to rise above that and still continue to live your self-purpose, you know, it sometimes is a rarity, because people aren't realizing that the programming is that strong, and to break free from that will be total and utter freedom of all. And so that's why I keep moving forth. That's why I have friends that help push me forth, and I do the same with them. It's you know, that's what we're here for. We're here to help each other and get through hard times and know how to rise above and give direction. You know, it's what we're here to do. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the hardships, and I do appreciate the aha moments and everything in between. There's just those moments where, training the brain is tough, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Seeing the silver lining in things is not impossible. So this is Sunday, and today will probably be, Sundays are usually really good days for me. It's like whatever I did to excite myself Friday or Saturday, if anything. Sometimes I don't go out. Sometimes I just kind of chill it, and I go visit people, but don't really do anything special. Don't really get any kind of rush from anything. Nothing like going to a live show does, But going to 2 shows in 2 nights, I was kind of actually bogged down last night a little bit. Because I didn't get enough sleep, but I still enjoyed the music, still enjoyed the company. Actually played a couple of games of pool, and just hung out and showed up for people when they needed it. Got a friend who's, just lost his mom, and, I'm here now to be supportive of his loss and whatever he might need to talk about when he gets up today. He got pretty wasted last night, so it was like, he was going through it and kind of just, but it was cool holding space for people, allowing them to process things, so they can move forward from the emotion and move forward to what's in front of them rather than what's not around anymore. Not to say to forget about a person, but just to be the example of moving forward in a positive fashion and refocusing and regrounding and taking those feelings and maybe creating something that's even better that promotes positive feelings. And I think that's what we do as musicians. We'll take our negative energy and turn it into positive energy to where people can get something out of that, motivation, a sense of peace with self, because that's, what I look for all the time is to find peace within myself and be okay with who I am. And if I can help by being an example to help one person understand these concepts and the things that our brains do and how our spirits work within that, then that's, might have saved somebody's life. So just keep moving forward, doing what we do to help promote a love and happiness. And even after the storm calms, that's when we party. So anyways, hope you guys have a great Sunday. I'm gonna have a great Sunday and move into the work week as usual as a normal programmed human being, and but still be able to have my own thoughts, right? So namaste to you, because the weirdness in me uplifts and really brings forth power to you as well. Have a great day.